بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, we hope everyone is well, everyone is doing okay. And we hope everyone is doing well. Ta'ala. So today, inshallah, we wanted to discuss the month of Muharram and its virtues. Last week, we spoke about ending the month, the Shahrul, the year of the Hijjah, and we focused on talking about having a good end in general and some of the factors that the Sheikh brought about taking advantage of our time. The Sheikh, he continued in the next bab was sitting, and he talked about taking advantage of our time. And of the specifics that he talked about taking advantage of our time, we're just going to summarize it very quickly so we can talk about the topic at hand. He said, "Kun fi dunya ka," he brought the hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "Kun fi dunya كأنك غريب أو عابر سبيل." He said, "Be in this dunya." The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded us to be in this dunya as if we were a stranger or as if we were moving and transversing through it. Okay? We talked about this hadith in the book of the heart softeners in a little more detail, but the Shaykh brings it here to be the stranger takes advantage of his time. When you're on vacation, when you are going somewhere, you want to maximize and do everything that you can, so that when you have to return back to your destination, that can say you had the best of fun, the most of time. So for us, the best of time is maximizing our time, because إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. All of our affairs is to return back to who? Allah Azza wa Jal. So we are promised and guaranteed that we're going to turn back to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So it's incumbent upon us to take advantage of our time. So today is the last day of Dhul Hijjah. Tomorrow begins. The moon was not sighted anywhere in the world that we know about. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam, whether it be locally, internationally, it has not been seen. So that means Saturday. So meaning tonight, the setting of Maghrib is going to be the first night of Muharram, and tomorrow is going to be the first day. So we're ending this month of Dhul Hijjah. So just because this month ends does not mean our virtue of this month ends. So now is that we have to learn the virtue of the new year to come. And how is it that we prepare for this new year to come? Everybody's like, oh, I got 6 months left of this year. We don't got no 6 months. You got a couple like 6 hours left for, or less for the year to begin. What is our plan for this year? Are we going to be people who are going to maximize our time in this year? Meaning starting off right now. Tomorrow is the first day of Muharram. Let's learn the virtue of this, right? So the Shaykh he brings, we're reading from page 62 in the book. Again, if anybody wants the PDF, reach out. We'll send you the PDF and go from there. We have a hadith from the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that was collected by Imam Muslim. It says that عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم أفضل الصيام بعد رمضان شهر الله المحرم. شهر الله المحرم. Right? وأفضل الصلاة بعد الفريضة صلاة الليل. وفي رواية in another narration it says الصلاة في الجوف الليل. Then we have a narration from the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, was narrated from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, and said that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, أفضل الصيام, the best of fasting after the month of Ramadan, it is Shahrullahi, right? And this is important to pay attention to because what? It's idaf, right? It's possession of the month of Allah, showing that there's possession, right? Allah's laying claim to this month, and that is Muharram. That month is the month of Muharram. Okay? So that in itself is something to be highlighted and really stand out for us. وَأَفْضَلُ salat, and the best of salat after the obligatory salat is the night prayer, or the prayer during the night. And then another narration says Jawf al-Layl, right? With Jawf al-Layl. And the prayer in the Jawf is the darkest middle point of the night. Okay? This hadith is evidence for the virtue of the fasting in the month of Allah al-Muharram, the month of Allah. And that is a virtue, and that its virtue follows the virtue of the month of Ramadan. The virtue of fasting during it comes from the virtue of its time and the greatness of the reward for the acts done during it, and because fasting in one of the greatest actions with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is also evidence that the voluntary salah in the middle of the night is better than the voluntary salah in the daytime. The month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-Muharram, it is the month which begins the Hijri year. The what? The Hijri year. Our Islamic calendar is based upon what? The Hijri years, right? And it is one of the sacred months which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions when He says, "Inna عدة شهور عند الله 12 شهرا في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها 4 حرم ذلك دين القيم فلا تظلموا فيهن أنفسكم." That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, verily the number of months is which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is 12. So it was ordained by Allah on the day when He created the heavens and the earth, of which 4 of those months are sacred. That is the religion, the upright religion, this is the right, correct religion. So do not wrong yourselves in there. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, and again, Abu Bakr is not Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr is a different companion than Abu Bakr. Okay? No. Okay? Sunnah 12 شهرا منها, that he said, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in the hadith, right? He said that the year is 12 months. From them are 4 sacred months. They are consecutive. Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, Muharram, and Rajab, Mudarra alladhi bayna Jumada wa Sha'ban, and Rajab of Mudar, which is between Jumada and Sha'ban. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala attached this month to Himself, showing to Himself to show its honor and greatness. Its honor and greatness. So we have to honor that and take it as a greatness. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, that the creation of time, He's given us these months. So January to December, that's not our month. Because when we look at it on top of it, it's based upon paganism. It's based upon different Greek gods and all this other nonsense, okay? So that's not our month. Do we use this Gregorian calendar because we live in a society that uses it? Yes, but we don't base our lives upon that. Our months and everything, when we're looking at resolutions for the year to come, it's today. It's not 6 months from now. It's now that tomorrow is Muharram. It's a new year for me. I have a new beginning. I'm going to be a year older in that year. Not in 2022? 2022? Yeah. Not 2023, I'm going to be a year older or whatever it may be. Okay? And it's not authentic that the Prophet Muhammad attached any month to Allah, the Most High, except Al-Muharram. It is called Al-Muharram to confirm its sacredness, because the Arabs used to switch it around, treating it as sacred one year and not another. Meaning they would switch it around and say Muharram was sacred this year and not the next year. Look at the people today. The people today say Christmas is sacred and then last year it wasn't. Then this year is going to be, next year it's not going to be. That's what people have shirk do. The Arabs of that time were pagans. Okay? They weren't people of Tawheed. So people of Tawheed, we honor things based upon how Allah honored it and His Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and how they commanded us to do it. Now, what Christopher Columbus was noble, now he's a pagan. He's the worst of the devil. Don't mention that man. They're pulling the statue down, everything. We shouldn't have had a statue in the first place. Allah musta'an. وَلَا تَظْلِمُوا فِيهِنَّ أَنفُسَكُمْ, and do not oppress yourselves or wrong yourselves in these days. Means in these sacred months, because sins in them are intensified and more serious than in other months. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ تَعَالَى جَعَلَ ذَنْبَ فيهن أعظم والعمل الصالح والأجر أعظم. That he said in Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, he said that indeed Allah makes sins greater, in them greater, and as well righteous deeds and their reward greater. Qatada rahimahullah, he said, Inna إن ظلم في الأشهر الحرم أعظم خطيئة ووزرا من الظلم فيما سواها وإن كان ظلم على كل حال عظيما ولكن الله يعظم من أمره ما يشاء. Indeed, wrongdoing in the sacred months is greater offense and sin, greater offense and sin than wrongdoing in others than them. Though wrongdoing in every situation is great, but Allah enhances what He wills. Included in wrongdoing is a person wrongdoing himself by associating partners with Allah, the Most High, or by abandoning committing prohibitions, being careless regarding salah, or failing to attend Jum'ah and congregational prayer. Look at what the Shaykh is highlighting. How much people is about to be reckless with the Friday that just passed today, and the salah that is obligatory upon each and every one of us, and how many of us are already planning to miss Jum'ah next week in the sacred month of Muharram. Congregational prayers we're planning to miss. Not that, oh man, something came up, I overslept. The pen is lifted from the sleeping person. Okay? How many people are planning to do something? Okay? We have to really be conscientious about this so that we can plan accordingly in the best of manners for everything to come in this month. Allah made these lunar months as a timetable for mankind because they are tangible signs whose beginning and end everyone knows. It is regrettable that many of the Muslims have abandoned the Hijri calendar and have adopted the Christian calendar that is based upon imaginary months and not based upon what is legislated, nor what is logical or perceivable. The ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are clear. The sun, the moon, the moving, the changing of it. And we want to deny that for a time period that we don't even know exists. So what now? Because Congress legislated and voted in, there's going to be no more playing with time, meaning there's no more going to be daylight savings. So the time's always going to remain the same for what it should be, not changing the time around and playing with time. Because it would say that it was going to give farmers more time period to be able to farm and X, Y, and Z. So time is going to be the reality of what it should have been, and many of us don't know that. The people like our elders, like Imam Isa and stuff, and other than them, they know and witness a time where there was no daylight savings. Now we're going back to that, and now it's going to be straightforward going forward. Why? Because that's the way it's naturally by Allah. This is the evidence of the weakness, the defeat, and the subordination to the non-Muslims. It is the corruption for Muslims to link themselves and their youth to the calendar of the Christians and be isolated from the Hijri calendar, which is linked to their Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to the symbols of their religion and their acts of worship. And Allah is the one in whom we seek help. This hadith also shows virtues of voluntary fasting in the month of Allah al-Muharram ba'da Ramadan, after Ramadan. The apparentness of the hadith is regarding the virtue of the fasting the entire month of Muharram, while some of the scholars say that it is an exhortation to be abundant in fasting during the month of al-Muharram and not to fast in its entirety. This is due to the statement of Aisha radiallahu anha, ما رأيت رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم استكمل صيام شهر قط إلا رمضان وما رأيته في شهر أكثر منه صياما في شعبان. I never saw the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam fasting an entire month except for Ramadan, and then I did not see him fasting more in any other month than in Sha'ban. So here the Shaykh he ends that, and that's where we're going to end with. And we're going to end with his dua, but we're going to have a little bit of a discussion, inshallah. Okay? So he ends this by saying, Allahumma, begging in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma, Allahumma, Allahumma himna min al-mukhalafati wal-isyani wa'afina من دواعي التفريط والخذلان ووفقنا لفعل الخيرات واغتنام الأوقات في الطاعة واغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولجميع المسلمين. Oh Allah, protect us from bad conduct, acts of disobedience. Protect us from the things that promote negligence and failure. Grant us success to do good deeds and to take advantage of the time by performing acts of obedience. And forgive us, O Allah, forgive our parents and all of the Muslims. This month of Muharram that is approaching us tomorrow, it's incumbent upon each and every one of us to know its virtue, its value. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's informed us, each and every single one of us, about it in the Quran. So we believe in the Quran, we have to believe in these books. This is part of saying that I believe, سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا, saying that I hear and I obey. That this month is in front of us, we can't just say, oh, well, no, it's just August. Oh, well, no, it's just July. That's not our months. We use them, yes, we use them because that's, if not, we're not going to know what day we have to go to work, what day we have doctor's appointments, what day we have that. But more importantly than all of that, if we abandon the Hijri months, we won't know the months that we're creating sins that we're carrying along that we can't break. The sins, as Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, he said, the sins in those months are a'zam. They're greater. And some of the ulama, they explain that instead of having a pebble placed on your scale for that one sin, you have a boulder. And how harder is it to remove a boulder than it is to move a pebble? So we have to be conscientious of what we're doing, what we're witnessing. And one of the biggest crimes that each and every one of us that we commit now is social media. Social media has taken us over. Reels, Vines, well, not Vines anymore, right? Because that's not cool. I don't know. TikTok. I'm not sure TikTok is out because Facebook got Reels and Instagram got Reels, so TikTok got booted out. It's not even Reels anymore. Reels supposed to be a short thing. Now it's a whole story, 5 minutes. You're like sitting there stupefied. It doesn't even matter. Like even some of us, we maybe looking at it as a benefit. Oh, they posted a reel of a scholar, so I'm gonna sit there and listen to it. But then you swipe up, and then what is it? It's a naked woman, a naked man, right? Hoochie daddy shorts, right? You gotta love and style. Stuff for Allah. Why we even gotta know about that stuff, right? But the second we switch it, that's what we see. Are we seeing something that's been made up? The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, do not make jokes to the people. Do not do things to make people laugh in an audience. Now look at what we're doing. That's our whole society. We're making things up no matter where it is. Police stations, hospitals, train stations, all of these things are so made up, and people are like, this is real. The cameraman standing behind him is so real that, he has a $10,000 camera that he just so happened to be there. Come on, we were so, deluded, convoluted, with our own situations that we have to recognize our reality is returning back to Allah. And the month of Allah begins tomorrow. Do we be people who really say that we bear witness and say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah? If there's no deity but Allah, then tomorrow is our month. Tomorrow is the month of Allah Azza wa Jal. Tomorrow is our sacred month. And we have to uphold it and raise its rank. Days, because days just come and go for us. I gotta work tomorrow? Do I gotta go to school tomorrow? Do I have a project due tomorrow? Do I have to go to work? Do I have a meeting? That's what days are for us now. And because societal norms have dictated that to us, we've forgotten and removed ourselves from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jum'ah is next Friday. Al Jum'ah is not Friday. Jum'ah is Jum'ah. It just matches up with Friday. But we have to understand that Jum'ah is for us every single week. And we have to want it. We have to want it. Okay? If we don't want this, then we're going to end up in failure. Right? It's a little tricky, right? We have to want the month of Allah. Right? If we don't want it, we're not going to get anything. And we're going to go in a decline. And sometimes we don't really understand why I'm making more money, but I don't understand. Nothing's happening. Now imagine you're begging Allah. Righteous deeds in this month are better and more beloved to Allah. So guess what? Buying your family dinner, barakah. But being stingy and withholding makes you more stingy, makes you more miserly, makes your wealth loses value. It's barakah. Spending on our family, spending on our wives, buying our brothers, our sisters gifts, encouraging everybody with a good deed is a benefit to each and every single one of us. And now, iman and wahtisab, that what we believe and that we're going to be rewarded for what we believe. Truly believe. So we truly believe that this month tomorrow is the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we should increase in our righteous deed, fasting, praying, giving zakat, spending, right? The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the best of sadaqah that's spent is on our family. Right? It's hot days. Why can't I just go buy water? Combine the two together. The best of things that we can give to somebody is a gift a saqi al-ma'a. Giving somebody a drink of water. Go buy some water, put it in the fridge. Here, boom. Oh man, he gave me some water. I love you, man. Like you combined it, doing a righteous deed, being pleasing to our family, our parents, our brothers, sisters. Combine it all of that just by doing one action in the best of months, which is the prohibited months. Look how easy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it for us. Praying our salah in its time. So much different things that we can, discuss. But we want to keep these gatherings as short as possible. If there's any questions, concerns, corrections, please, do ask or correct us. We are mankind. We are created. We are the children of Adam, and we're all going to make mistakes. But the best of us to turn back, acknowledge our mistake, repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about it, and move forward, make the reconciliation. If there's nothing, inshallah, when we're going to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive each and every one of us for our sins, our shortcomings. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who maximize our time and take advantage of this month of Al-Muharram and to be able to be saved from the hellfire. Next week, bi'idhnillah, there's the date of Ashura that is found in this month, in which the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam informed us about fasting this day, and we're going to find the history about it, learn a little bit more reflections upon Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, because this was pertinent to, inshallah, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, next week. So the day of Ashura is the 10th of Muharram, so the 10th of tomorrow is the 1st, the 8th, 9th, 10th, so it'll be Sunday or Monday, something like that, if my calculations are correct. But we'll have a calendar posted by the end of the day tomorrow, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, with the month of Muharram and its dates and stuff like that, inshallah. But we're going to discuss it in detail more so everybody can be prepared for it, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And again, the same way we fasted the day of Arafah and had sins forgiven, we'll fast the day of Muharram and have our sins forgiven for the year of Muharram, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive each and every one of us and our families. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us blessed wherever we may be. May Allah have mercy and bless our families, our mothers, our fathers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of the people of the Quran, Ameen, and believe you should be very